Can jellyfish survive when trapped inside their own tiny ocean? It is one of nature's most captivating questions. Can a fragment of the ocean, a self-contained world of shimmering life, sustain itself when sealed away from the vastness of its origin? We look upon a simple glass jar, yet within it lies a cosmos in miniature. Here, a small colony of bioluminescent jellyfish has been introduced into a carefully prepared aquatic environment. They are pioneers in an unknown territory. Their new home, a crystal sphere no larger than a child's imagination. The experiment poses a profound inquiry. Can these ethereal creatures, so dependent on the rhythms of the open sea, truly survive and perhaps even thrive in their own isolated, glowing universe for 30 days? The very idea seems to defy the natural order. Jellyfish are beings of the current drifting through immense bodies of water, their lives dictated by the tides and the endless supply of marine sustenance. To confine them is to challenge their most fundamental way of being. This jar is more than just a container. It is a hypothesis brought to life. It asks if the intricate web of existence, the delicate balance between predator and prey, oxygen and carbon dioxide, life and decay, can be replicated on such a minuscule scale. The gentle, pulsing glow emanating from within is the first sign of life, a silent beacon in our laboratory, signaling the start of a remarkable journey. What will the coming days reveal? Will the jellyfish, with their ghostly bells and trailing tentacles, adapt to the strict confines of their new reality? Their survival hinges on a meticulously crafted ecosystem, a tiny self-regulating loop of biological processes. Every single element within this sealed world is critical. The slightest imbalance could trigger a cascade of failure. The stakes are incredibly high for these delicate drifters. We will observe the subtle shifts in their behavior, the intensity of their otherworldly glow, and the overall health of their microscopic kingdom. Will the light within this tiny ocean fade into darkness, or will these creatures prove that life can find a way to endure in the most unlikely of places? The vessel for our experiment is a masterpiece of simplicity, a large, perfectly clear glass jar with a hermetically sealed lid. Inside, a world has been born. The water was sourced from a pristine coastal estuary, filtered and prepared to create a perfect marine environment, a life-giving medium, rich with essential salts and minerals. Suspended within this liquid realm are the stars of our show, a small group of moon jellyfish. Their translucent bells pulse with a gentle, rhythmic grace. We introduced a crucial partner, a culture of microscopic algae, dinoflagellates. During the day, they perform photosynthesis, absorbing carbon dioxide and releasing vital oxygen into the water. At night, or when agitated, they luminesce. The gentle drift of the jellyfish is enough to stir them. Their movements are slow, deliberate, utterly captivating. As they pulse and glide, they create tiny currents, causing the surrounding microalgae to flash and glow. The entire jar seems to breathe with a soft internal light. The jellyfish do not hunt in the traditional sense. Instead, they drift with their tentacles spread wide, like a living net. Microalgae become ensnared, then slowly transported to the central mouth. Every contraction sends a tiny vortex swirling outward, triggering bioluminescence and creating a mesmerizing aura of light that follows each jellyfish, as if they are painting with light. This constant, gentle agitation keeps the jar in a state of low, shimmering luminescence, a perpetual twilight illuminated by its own inhabitants. The jellyfish are the conductors of its light orchestra. The environment is designed as a closed loop. The jellyfish consume, their waste breaks down to nutrients. The algae use those nutrients to grow. A miniature carbon cycle, a complete food web contained within glass. If the jellyfish eat the algae too quickly, the food vanishes. If the algae grow too profusely, they could cloud the water and deplete essentials. That would lead to system collapse. In the first week, the glow strengthens, water remains clear, and decomposers manage waste. Subtle movement patterns emerge. A fragile stability takes hold. Their pulsing becomes more regular, more confident, adapting to still water and the absence of tides. But this is only the beginning. The resources are finite. The real test will come as populations grow and the demands on the closed system increase. At its heart, this glowing jar is a closed ecological system and an ecosphere. The principle is simple, the execution complex. The most critical cycle is gas exchange. The jellyfish require oxygen and release carbon dioxide. The microalgae consume carbon dioxide and in light produce oxygen. This symbiotic relationship is the engine that drives the entire system, a perfect, self-regulating partnership. Light is the fuel. Day charges the system with oxygen. At night, respiration continues. With the day's oxygen, the system remains stable. The jar is breathing, inhaling light, exhaling life, a microcosm of the planet's atmospheric balance, sealed within glass. The second component is the food web. Producers create from light and simple nutrients. Consumers feed on the abundant algae. Bacteria, introduced with the original water and sand, act as decomposers, breaking waste into simpler inorganic compounds, nitrates, phosphates. These fertilize the algae. This complete loop, producer to consumer to decomposer and back, is what makes the system potentially sustainable. Nothing is wasted. The first 7 days are a period of quiet observation and palpable tension. Movements are slower, pulses less frequent than in the open ocean. They seem to be mapping the boundaries of their new universe. Finite edges, no currents to guide them. The glow strengthens as algae reproduce. Clear water suggests decomposers are managing waste. Long periods near the bottom, tentacles splayed, and perhaps capturing algae that have settled. At times, they ascend in a slow, hypnotic spiral toward the sealed top, only to drift back down again. A routine develops, pulsing becomes more regular. By the end of week 1, a fragile stability is achieved. As we cross 15 days, new challenges emerge. The microalgae population booms, the water grows cloudier, reducing light penetration. A thin biofilm forms on the glass, locking away biomass and further blocking light. The delicate balance teeters on a knife's edge. Paradoxically, the glow is brighter than ever. Stunning beauty intertwined with signs that point toward collapse. Entering the final week, tension is palpable. The system is visibly strained. The greenish tint deepens, the biofilm thickens. The glow becomes erratic, brilliant flashes replaced by a dull, diffuse shimmer. The jar's light flickers like a candle in the wind, movements slow, pulses languid. They endure, they pulse, they drift, they survive, for now. On the 30th and final day, we look upon the jar with reverence and sadness. The experiment has reached its conclusion. The water is now a cloudy, deep green. Through the haze, we can still see the jellyfish, alive but only just. 2 lie still on the sandy bottom. A gentle shake elicits only a faint, fleeting sparkle from exhausted dinoflagellates. The engine of life has run out of fuel. The algal bloom created hypoxia. Nighttime oxygen demand outstripped daytime production. Waste, likely accumulated faster than bacteria could process, raising ammonia and other toxins. The elegant closed loop proved too fragile for the growing biomass over 30 days. Yet it was a profound success. For over 3 weeks, a complex marine ecosystem survived, even thrived in complete isolation. We witnessed photosynthesis, respiration, the efficiency of a closed-loop food web, and the captivating beauty of bioluminescence. Life adapted, flourished, and ultimately succumbed to its limits. The jar, now still and silent, is a monument to a beautiful idea, a tribute to the delicate balance that governs all life, and a reminder of ecosystem fragility. While the first glowing jar has faded, the spirit of inquiry it ignited burns brighter than ever. This 30-day journey was a beginning. What if we changed a variable, perhaps fewer jellyfish or a slower growing algae to avoid boom and bust? We may introduce a small snail or shrimp to graze biofilm and help process waste, adding complexity to gain stability. New jars with built-in sensors will monitor oxygen, pH, and ammonia in real time. Controlled lighting cycles may enhance algal stability. The goal is not just to see if it survives, but to understand how. The dream of a perfectly balanced, self-sustaining ecosphere, a living jewel glowing on a shelf for months, is still alive. Join us at the Tiny Forest Lab as we continue to explore these magical, mysterious worlds, one tiny ocean at a time. The next chapter is about to begin. Subscribe for more glowing jar experiments from Tiny Forest Lab.